The story features violent scenes. Please play at your own discretion. The story features some visual effects such as static and glitching, which could cause issues. So, ooh, can we clean that up? Thank you, because I'm like, yeah, I did not like that. um, okay, that's better. I'm sorry, I could not play with the CRT. So, yeah. But again, clearly there are some trigger warnings in this. Obviously, they did mention that at the beginning of this demo that there are some gory and violent scenes in this, and there are. Now, I did turn off in the settings some of the visual effects that they offer. So I did turn off the CRT effect, but there are some glitching and static effects in this game, so that could be a little alarming. When I do upload this, I will add those warnings into the description as well. So please be warned. But this is a demo of Ghostpia Season 1. Um, and just keep in mind that what you see here in the gameplay may or may not be in the full version of the game when it does release. Now, that being said, I'm going to go ahead, start the timer, and then start the game. Do you want to start reading from episode 1? Reason. Basic controls. Press Z to progress through the story. You can always press A to go back. Okay. It's been a long journey. It's dark by the time I get out of the station. A cold breeze blows, and I suddenly want to go home. This is a ghost town. It's certainly lonely enough to have earned that name. Despite my reluctance, I quickly remember why I came here: to fulfill her wish. It's a promise I have to keep. I whisper to myself, I've come to see you. Okay, so I went back to the CRT. Okay, liking this opening. Opening's nice. It's been my dream to dream. Lately, I've been sleeping all the time, but I haven't dreamed at all. I want to dream. I want to escape from reality and go elsewhere. But no matter how much I sleep, the world of dreams just won't welcome me. Have I ever even had a dream? I'm not quite sure myself. And thus, I'm on the principle of awakening. My body slowly floats up from the darkness of dreamless sleep, reminding me that I do have a body and I'm not just part of the puddle of dream goo. But I want to sleep longer. I grab a hold of sleep's tail and try to sink myself back into the goo. When I let out a yawn and opened my eyelids, I recognized the sound of a ringing phone. So that's what woke me up. The tr- the trifling realization, trifling realization sends sparks flying within my brain, instantly casting aside my drowsiness. I've woken up once again. My heart feels cold, heavy, as if someone had poured icy water into the empty hole in my chest. I look outside the window. It's almost dawn. Everyone's starting to go home. The air is hurried and restless, but also somehow satisfied and overflowing with hope. And then my heart gets another degree colder. Let's go. I quickly grab a change of clothes, put on my coat, and head to the door leading out of my one-room apartment. I wince at the cold sensation of the metal doorknob when I turn it. Once I walk through the hall and down the stairs, the door there leads out. This is really gorgeous. It's the same outside as ever. Thick snow covers the ground, like always. Good thing I brought my boots. A cursory glance at a nearby brick fence reveals graffiti in a language foreign to me. Behind it, in the distance, are buildings covered in pastel candy-like colors, except they're now faded, dull, and ambiguous. There aren't many tall buildings. What does stand out, though, is a cylinder thrusting forth from the middle of town, as well as the peculiar silhouette of a church in the distance that almost looks like it's got an onion on top. In any case, I've got the feeling that this isn't the place where I belong. This is a ghost town. Someone decided it'd be called that. Or rather, that's all anyone's ever called it. This is a ghost town, after all. There's not much else here, so if you're not going to name the town after its inhabitants, what else are you going to call it? It's ghosts that live here. Or rather, that's all anyone ever calls them. I think that's the only thing that's comfortable calling themselves since they live forever and are active at night. They really are ghost-like in that sense. But I guess since the like part is off-putting, they settled on just straight up calling themselves ghosts. Naturally, I'm a ghost myself. As dawn breaks and the ghosts go home, I head out into the ghost town. The horizon's starting to turn blue, so I'm sure it'll be dawn soon enough. I love this time of night, especially the sky. I do realize that I'm kind of basic for liking something as commonplace as the sky. But watching the pitch black expanse gradually fade to navy and then to blue marks makes me feel, somehow, both excited and relaxed. I take a step forward and get confused. Why was I sounding so gloomy? I often space out and lose track of what I was thinking. I've been like this for longer than I can remember. I feel like a broken machine. If only I could keep these sad thoughts away. Not once have I ever been able to stop them. I start digging through my memory to try and remember what started the gloomy train of thought and walk outside half asleep. My feet just started walking on their own. Someone once said that the subconscious part of our mind is larger than the conscious one. I pass through the small gate of the similar small apartment complex. There are many footprints left in the snow, but they're all footprints heading home in the opposite direction that I'm headed. It seems like that lonely thought has set my memory into motion. I remember now. Once again, I failed to dream. Then I got a phone call from that girl, which woke me up. I couldn't sit still, so I went outside. I wish I didn't remember that. But I suppose when you've forgotten something, it's human nature to try and remember it. The need to remember may not be at the top of the hierarchy of needs, but it's definitely pretty high up. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't, I mutter to myself as I tread through the snow. When I really, really like the art style in this. Like, this art style is gorgeous. When I reach the road, the snow has already been cleared, making it much easier to walk. There is not another soul on the road, but I can feel the gazes of the ghosts from inside their buildings. I can't say I like it, but it's better than seeing them face to face. There are many ghosts in this town, but as someone who currently doesn't have any friends, my one and only hobby is to walk around town early in the morning like this. It's nostalgic, melancholic, and yet somewhat exciting. That's how I always feel when I go for these walks. I walk through the shabby backdrop of the city streets until I turn the corner, and the scenery changes ever so slightly. I've reached the plaza in the middle of town. There are benches placed here and there, as well as the signboard of a cafe with a view of the plaza. But it's not exactly a place with a calm, relaxing atmosphere. And that's due to the overwhelming presence of something that's the opposite of calm and relaxing. In the center of the plaza is this indescribable stone wreckage of what probably used to be a fountain, and sticking out of it is a gigantic metal cylinder with fins. It's been here for ages. Its silhouette is simple and clear, so too is its purpose: destruction, complete and utter destruction. There's no mistaking it. It's a missile. I have no way of knowing what sort of missile it is, but the fact of the matter is that it's a missile. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't know how long this town's history goes, but ever since it became a ghost town, the missile's been there, apparently. Since it hasn't exploded, it's probably a dud. And strangely enough, the missile is packed with the names of the town's ghosts etched all over it, surfaced like some sort of memorial. Naturally, my name's on there too. I have no memory of writing it there, and yet, there it is. Like a signature on a shady contract I've been deceived into signing. Maybe I'd be a little proud to have my name here if I liked this town, but since I don't, it doesn't make me happy at all. Instead, it makes me feel like I've been bound to this depressing place. So, if anything, I find it disgusting. Chiyaku kick? That scared me. I take 2 or 3 steps back, get a running start, and give the missile a good kick. Specifically, I aim at the spot where my name is written. Someone speaks up from behind me. You idiot! What if it explodes? Shocked, I turn around to see a red-headed girl I recognize. She's a person, or rather, a ghost I'd rather not run into. Eep. That's one thing I haven't forgotten. What? It's not like I did anything. She may have not done anything, but I have, so I don't know what to say. Obviously, I'm not expecting her to do anything in retaliation. It's not like I hate her or anything. But I don't know if what I've done, maybe, was some kind of taboo. Ow, ow. So all I can do is let out a pathetic groan. Hey, wait! I turn around and make a break for it. I run shamelessly, waving around my arms and legs. Anya, the redhead, appeared right behind me, so I have no choice but to make a loop around the town that's roughly shaped like a circle in order to get back home. I try to run fast, but my body just doesn't feel like it. I keep tripping and almost cry every time, but before I realize it, I'm back home. When I close the door behind me, I finally snap out of it. I can almost feel the wind blowing through my stomach. Now that I think about it, I haven't eaten anything in a long time. Well, it's not like I'm gonna die or anything. When I toss my coat off by the door, it starts melting from the bottom hem up. What? Like when an orange peel eats through a piece of styrofoam. It bubbles, melts, and forms droplets. The boots I tossed by the bed melt too, leaving behind useless heels and soles. And by the time I toss myself onto the bed, even my feet start to melt. Even ghosts feel pain once the skin melts off. It exposes muscle that gets dry and stiff up upon contact with the air. It hurts. What in the blue devil? The smallest flicker of air in the room causes me unbearable pain, as if rubbing irritants into open wounds. Ghosts can't survive the morning sun. The reason I keep tripping over myself on the way here may have been a result of losing part of my leg muscle. Thinking about that possibility helps distract me a little from the pain. But it's not as much of a problem as it may seem. It's no big deal, really. Nothing dies in this town. Just leave it alone for a while and everything will be back to how it should be. To sleep is to temporarily lend your body to the darkness of slumber. By the time I wake up, my body will be back to normal. My legs will have healed and won't hurt anymore. Hopefully. This sure hurts. I speak up, even though I know there's nobody there to respond. Well, it'd be nice if there was someone to respond, someone to sympathize with my pain. Maybe I'm a little lonely. Did a teardrop fall onto my pillow? Or was it just my imagination? My eye falls shut before I can find out. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it there. I am going to save it, but I'm gonna stop it there because the 15 minutes are almost up. And we're gonna go back to the title for Ghostopia season 1. It looks like there is going to be 5 different episodes for this. But so far, I enjoyed this. Like, it sounds really interesting. I kind of have some of my own theories, but I always build theories when I'm reading. But as you can see, this was a visual novel. And if you like visual novels, I would say definitely probably add this one to your wish list. It's starting for the 15 minutes that we did go through. It started off pretty interesting, and I'm looking forward to learning more about the town and stuff. Like I said, I kind of have my own theories of what's going on. But again, this was just a demo. This demo is available on Steam. So if you would like to check it out for yourself, you can go to Steam, download the demo, and then wishlist the game if you like what you play of it. I will probably be adding this one to my wish list as well because I do love visual novels. And like I said, I'm really, really, really taken in by the art style of this one. Like, this one looks really, really good. And it's nice to see a visual novel that doesn't, because most visual novels kind of rely on like the anime type visual novels where the characters, they feel like you're reading like a manga or whatnot. But this one, it the visuals in this one, it's definitely a breath of fresh air. And I am looking forward to reading the rest of this because this was really interesting. But if you liked of what you saw of Ghostopia, go ahead again, download the demo on Steam and wishlist the game. Again, this was a demo, so what you see here, or if you run into any issues, just remember it is a demo and it is not the full version of the game. All right, with that being said, I am going to go ahead and wrap up my stream for the evening. Yeah, because it looks like it's going to be, it looks like from what we just saw there, there's going to be 5 different episodes in it. Um, so usually with visual novels, when they're episodic like that, or usually with games that are episodic, sometimes what will happen is they will give the first episode away for free. And then you buy a season pass to get the rest of the episodes. No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So I'm hoping with this one that, it might be one of those, okay, the first episode is free and then you buy the season pass and then you get the rest of the episodes when you pay for the season pass, or, you know, something to that effect, or even, hey, you pay for the game the first episode, and you get all of the episodes included when they come out. Sometimes they do that as well. Whether but you most of the time when it's an episodic game, they tend to go the route of first episode is free, buy the season pass to get the other seasons, or but nonetheless, it looked really promising, and I really enjoyed what I did read of Ghostopia.